Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, people? What is up? What's really fucking cracking out there? Check it out. Welcome to the show. This is the smoking section where we bring you hot topics and fire conversation. This is your host, Big Corpse. Check it out, man. First and foremost, I hope everyone is safe during this COVID-19 pandemic. Numbers are going back up in California and things are starting to slowly close down again. Fuck, man. Like, it's July, dude, and this is crazy. But, you know, I'm all for keeping the public safe. You know, and I know people are stressing about money and all these things, but, you know, there's money. Money is there. There's money. It just hasn't been allocated to the proper places yet. Yeah. But that's a whole different topic. But I hope you guys are safe, and I hope that everyone is doing their part to, you know, social distance and stay clean and work on your immune system, everything. Yeah. Second, I'm a listener-supported podcast. Yeah, my mom encouraged me to put this out there. I'm a listener-supported podcast, right? So it really does mean the absolute world to me. It means the world to me if you guys can just share it. You know, share the links, share the posts that I make, you know, distributing this podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. I don't care if you put cool or if you put this sucks. 1 star or 5 stars or 3.5 stars or 2 stars. Or negative stars. I don't know if they let you guys do that, but, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter to me what you leave, right? Or how much you hate it. That part doesn't matter as long as you guys give me the information so then I can do something with it, right? It matters in the sense where I can get better. It's how I improve. It's how I bring you a better show each and every episode. But don't be shy. Yeah. Yeah, man. Check out Corpse Collection. That's another way that you guys can support us financially. Check out corpsecollection.com. That's KORPSX collection, the word collection.com. It is the sole, as of this recording, it is the sole sponsor of this podcast. And it's my clothing brand that helps me put food on the table. So every purchase that you guys make doesn't really, you know, it doesn't fund a third beach house. It doesn't subsidize a vacation to Tahiti. It is my lifeline. It's what I feed my son with. Yeah. So that support goes a really, really far way. Yeah. Today, so this episode of the podcast, I bring to you somebody who I met 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, we met through Crump dancing. As you guys know, I am a Crump dancer. We met through Crump and, you know, got a couple battles in, you know, like battle rounds in and practice before this big event. One of the biggest events in America, called the Buckster. And ever since then, we were immediately friends. And now we are now both members of the Beast Camp Crump family. This man hails from Australia, my first international guest. He is an MC. He is a spiritual intellect. And he is a phenomenal artist when it comes to this movement art that we call dance. He's a loyal friend. He is very peculiar in the ways in which he's able to, the best way to put it, I guess, is to elaborate on his very, very complex and very deep ideas on life and mindset and spirituality. Things even from his diet. He's very conscious about what he takes into his body and feeds his soul with. I really wanted to get him on the show and pick his brain. Yeah, dude, this is a rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen. And we only hit the tip of the iceberg of this rabbit hole. So please strap in, get comfortable. Send the wife and the kids to go pop the popcorn and come right back, because this one is a doozy. Yeah. It was a real pleasure being able to sit and talk, and it's been a while since I've been able to talk to the homie, so this was a real pleasure. Yeah, so man, I'm so excited. So for you guys, I want you to please welcome Hood, aka Weirdo, aka my man, Ian DeMello. My man Hood, can you hear me?
Yes, that is way better, brother.
Alrighty, cool. How you doing, man? It's been a long time, bro.
Bro, it's been 3 years, I think.
Yeah, because it was, I think Buckster was the last time I saw you. I don't know if you've been back stateside. Okay, then that's definitely the last time, bro.
Yeah, I remember you had your face painted and everything. You had a main battle too. I can't remember who you battled though.
More like I got stomped on by Rook Boy. Man, yeah, he gave me the work that night, bro.
He definitely did, but you still buck, bro. And like your progress, what I've seen from you from like in the Beast Camp footage and stuff like that, whatever you post is tight.
Thank you, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I remember you battled that night too. You battled Shakes, man, and killed off, bro. And that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was like impromptu as well. I just because before it, he was like, "Oh, I don't know if you're actually gonna get to battle because I don't know." Shakes had another battle or some shit, and then Shakes' battle didn't end up showing up. So Eyes just looked at me and was like, "Yo, you ready?" And I was like, "Fuck." That wasn't like, it was like on the spot sort of thing. And I was like, man, I'm in the Mecca. And I'm from outside the Mecca, and I'm dancing to battling for existence, basically. Even though he still uses the Hood name and everything, I completely changed the whole, what's it called? Like what it stands for me, So it's like, it don't matter anymore.
Yeah, see, and when I got to the venue, they were like, "Oh, Little Rip couldn't make it," and I had heard down the grapevine like, "Yo, Little Rip might not be able to make your battle." So I was like, "No," no, like I've been preparing for this, I've been wanting this, blah blah blah. And then I got there, and they're like, "It's either Shakes or Ruck Boy. It's going to be your battle." I was like, fuck. I was like, oh my God, they're both so tight.
You were supposed to battle B Wilder?
Yeah, I was supposed to battle B Wilder.
Damn. That would have been crazy to see.
Yeah, and it was crazy because during that time, he was ripping. And a lot of people were like, I know there was a small group of people who were like, "Yo, Calvin's a rookie." And I was like, "No, he's not." I was like, "No, he's fucking not." Because I'm a rookie and I know who he is. So he's tight. Y'all might not appreciate him, but he's tight as fuck. So let's not get it twisted here, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know how people can't. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. He was killing back then already.
Yeah, he was already a killer. But I think it was like to the world. And I know when people were like, when people were like first looking into the battles, Ches was like, he made like this whole video, and it was like me, I was a rookie to the community, but then, B Wilder was a rookie to the world platform, because at that point, I mean, he started fucking people up crazy left and right, and I was like, yo, this dude is tight.
Yeah, 100%.
But man, and then too, that was my first time seeing you battle, and I was like, yo, like, this man's wild.
Yeah, a lot of people would have been like, who the fuck is this guy with his long ass dreads and coming from out of freaking the US, wanting a battle hood, like, yeah, you know, for his name and shit, like, crazy. But people, I don't think many people know that I called him out in 2014, the first time I went there.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So I was staying in Carson with one of the homies antagonized from Australia. And we rocked up at the DC session. I think it was me, Ants, Pono, Sherwin, and LeVar. And I'm pretty sure Jesse was there too. Spartan was there as well. And like Spartan, LeVar, Basics, and Fudd ended up judging it. And they said that it's like, nah, it's whack, man. Like, you can't, you know, battle for existence against an OG and like take his name when you guys are in complete different countries and shit. And then when I was talking to Sherwin after it, he was just like, yeah, you edged him, bro. And like at that time, it was just like me and, you know, I guess my pride was just like, yo, I want to be the only hood. Like I went through that whole phase.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, especially for us Crumpers, the names are such a like really like selfish part of our demeanor. Like when we have our name, there's something to it for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro. I mean, sacred is the word that first came to my head. Because, you know, that's like the like for me, how I created my names is literally, it's not necessarily like a persona for me. You know, it's like I am the like if I'm hood, if I'm weirdo, if I'm nonstop or ill striker, they're all aspects of me, you know? Like you're gonna see me in a different light when I'm dancing as weirdo and whatever it is. So, and I'm sure that's the same with a lot of people too. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like Corpse, like and I think the reason why I call it selfish is like Corpse is actually one of my friends who had passed away a while back. And then I took it and I was like, yo, like that name, like I just remember like he was somebody who I looked up to so much, like, you know what I mean, just for being a Billy badass. And it was like and so it was like, okay, I took it and then I made it an acronym. And I was like, you know, and it's like, yeah, I get it. You know, there's all these
What's
names.
the acronym? I remember you posting about it, but that would have been a while ago. What does it stand for?
Creativity offers our people self-expression.
Oh, that is very dope, my friend.
Yeah, and it's like, thank you, man. And it's just like, you know, so I'm selfish. I'm like, man, like I know there's another corpse who's a popper. I know there's another corpse who's a this or a that, but it's like for me, nah, that's mine, bro. And you can't play with this, dog. Like you can't. It's mine. Like you can't. Because it wasn't even mine to begin with. You know what I mean? So it's like, now that I've taken it, making it mine, nah, it's mine and mine only. Sorry, there ain't nobody else.
Yeah.
And hood, so for people who don't know, introduce yourself a little bit and kind of explain your name, because I know hood for you has taken a bigger meaning. Like you kind of even touched on it a little bit, but I know it's taken on a bigger meaning. So what's really up with the name Hood?
So real name is Ian DeMello, aka I have quite a few of them. Is Hood, which derived from hoodlum. And the reason why I decided to call myself hoodlum at the beginning of, I guess, my conscious awakening, in a sense, is I ended up realizing that I had a lot of self-destructive thoughts in my head. You know, whether that be stealing shit, bashing people, telling people like basically like speaking my truth, but holding it back. Those thoughts to me started like recycling in my head and became negative more so because I felt like I couldn't do anything about those thoughts, you know?
Mm.
So yeah, basically like when you look at what a hoodlum is, it's a destructive person. It's a destructive young person. And that's what I felt like I was to myself because I held in my thoughts. And, you know, like growing up, we were in a Eurasian household, which is like my parents are from Singapore. They were very stern and was like, nope, you have to do it this way. You can't do it that way. And if you do, you're gonna get a hit type shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that sort of like limited me in the sense of being creative until I found Crump. And then so that's a little bit of backtracking, but that's what Hoodlum came from. And then because of knowing that there were people that had Hood in their name as well, I was like, I don't want to be like people just used to call me Hood. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stick with that. But then, you know, people like I ended up discovering Shakes, like Black Hood, Hood Bully at the time, who's actually now Hood X. He's from Brisbane. Like I went through this whole phase of going like, I'm the only Hood. Like I'm gonna battle every one of y'all that have the name so I can be that man. You know, like Jet Li type shit.
Yeah, be the one.
Yeah. That's such a good movie, man. But, yeah. So from there, it went to Hood, and then I made it an acronym as well. I love playing with words because they have and hold so much power. And what it stands for now is Healing Hours Overpowers Demons. So basically, that's turning all the demons that what I consider to be thoughts and even like, that basically possess me to think in a way that I never really wanted to. Like I'm like every time I dance, I release that and allow myself to go back to more of a pure like innocence. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
more of a light person, physically and spiritually and mentally. You know. So yeah, man, that's what Hood stands for right now, and I'll
Man,
never change it. I'll never change it.
man, and it's dope to just understand. Like to me, I feel like as the generations have moved on and started kind of progressing, you know, you went from these names, like let's just say Rascal, right? Because he's a rascal, you know, he's a rascal, like, you know what I mean, dirty little rascal, like, you know, like
Yeah.
there's a simple play on words, but you even being the artist that you are, because I know you do music and stuff too, man, so it's like for you to take your name and put a deeper message and meaning behind it is so dope to me, bro, because it's like it gives it that sacredness, like you were saying earlier, like it makes it sacred and holy and something that's like, hey, if you say that word, you gotta know what it means, like, you know what I mean, like
exactly.
yeah. And one thing, dude, like, and you even like started saying it too when you're explaining Hood, but like you've went through this whole like conscious awakening and kind of like being more aware of things, and that's one reason, dude, I really wanted to get you on the podcast out of a lot of people, because you're my first international like guest on the podcast.
Yeah, that's love, bro.
So it's like, shit, it's like, oh shit, we really out here. So when you say, so let's kind of like start small, because this is something that I feel like with me the past few months is something that I've been trying to do. So when you say conscious awakening, like what are you really addressing, or what are you really talking about?
I am sorry, my missus is making me laugh, bro. So conscious awakening to me is basically realizing that this third, I'm trying to explain it really simple, but that this human experience, right, isn't who we actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
like point one, to realize that we are not actually just this human. Like, what in our vessel allows us to be conscious. And
Mm-hmm.
when you look at, now expanding a little bit, when you look at universal law, the only thing that ever exists, ever, and never doesn't exist, is energy,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe is another form of consciousness. So when you say, for example, you meditate or you close your eyes, nothing in the physical world exists. And if you're silent, nothing else exists besides you right now, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, like I think that would be the first like step, if that makes sense, to realizing what we actually are, which is just energy. And consciousness is, I guess, just a label that we've put on what our connecting to our soul.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
Okay, pause, because there's going to be a lot of people who listen to this right now, and they're going to be like,
Yeah.
whoa. They're going to be like, whoa. They're going to be like, whoa, dude. Okay, because this whole season, and again, another reason why I really wanted you on, this whole season of the show, I've been bringing more people on, and I've been trying to gauge the season and the people who I bring on who can contribute in some type of mental health, spiritual health, emotional, social health,
Yeah.
because especially for me, even for you, like for men, I
Yeah.
know that those are tough topics for us to cover.
Oh, for
You know
sure,
what I mean?
bro. Like there's so many, not to interject, but yeah, there's so many males that need this type of like understanding, understanding, and overstanding, because there's just so much, like, I guess, imagery and, conditioning that we have to get rid of to actually be okay with being vulnerable, But yeah,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
had
because
to
no, for sure, bro. And it's in that vulnerability. It's in the rewiring of our brain to understand that these conversations are okay to have. I'm not saying to go blab your business with every Sally and Sue on the street, but if you
That's
got a
something
couple,
we can't do.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even street culture teaches us that. And it's like, but if you have 5 or 6 people who you can trust this information with, you know what I mean? It's good to exchange it because
100%.
I definitely believe that we are spirits having a human experience, a human like experience, you know what I mean? Because this vessel is this body, this crude skin and muscle fibers and bone and fingernail and, you know what I mean, hair and all this shit. This is a crude version of what is containing me. This is something containing me, like, and like, you're even stating physical law, like, energy is created and it's never destroyed. Like, it just changes form. Boom, 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 boom.
Exactly.
So, for people who might be catching up, because we're starting to put this in layman terms, like, you know what I mean? So, what was it what would you say would have been the moment that got you to be like, hey, like, there's something more going on here? Because it was like, for me, I had a philosophy class, and one of our tests was to describe the chair that was sitting in front of me. And I just thought in my head, like all high and shit. I was like, but what? Like, what chair? Like, we could be in the middle of a matrix. Like, what chair? What chair? This thing right here? Like, like, that was my moment that made me be like, yo, there's something bigger going on here.
Yeah.
Like, what would have been that moment? What would have inspired you to start thinking that way?
When, I guess, two main things. For me, it was being old enough to saying no to going to church, as that may be. Because I was brought up Catholic, and we would go every Sunday, go to church, listen to this dude behind an altar preach about this man named Jesus, right? And I'm not saying that. I think for me, just for all the religious people out there, I believe that there is a deity that is called Jesus, but he isn't the be all end all. Let's just get that out of the way. And he did ascend and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically me just questioning that whole belief system. That was the main thing that I guess moved me onto the next thing, which was how can I say, taking, as crazy as this may sound, taking LSD, and then at that same time getting, I guess, like force-fed occult knowledge by one of my co-workers at the time. And yeah, that just gave me a whole heap of like it just shifted my whole perspective on what this world is, how it functions, how the universe works, what we are as humans, what religion is as one, a belief system, two, a business,
Yeah.
and where that all came from as well. So yeah, I guess in a way it's like three main things, but yes, sir.
See, and even like hearing, see, for me, when I'm listening to you talk right now, I can understand some of your word choice. Like you were even saying, like words have power. Like people here in America, bro, they hear occult and it's like, oh my gosh, like this is so bad. But it's like, no. Like, no. It's just something you might not have heard before. Like, let's just, let the man speak real quick. Like, you know what I mean? But it was things like that for me too, man. Like hearing different philosophies and different, like, okay, like, I don't know. I feel like when you have these type of debates or you have these type of conversations, you have to be a complete blank piece of paper. You know what I mean? You can't have any kind of predestined or like any kind of like like I don't even know the word for it, but like predisposed feelings about these type of things. Like, you know what I mean? You got to let all that go and just hear it for what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that, like even when it is whoever's listening to this, like enjoy the conversation and just like, I guess, ponder on it and see what resonates with you guys. And yeah, man, like have an open mind that is, how can I say, not eager to reply in a sense, or not eager to be defensive about what you think about and stuff. Because that's what causes arguments and heated debates and shit like that when, which is fair enough. That's just what we do.
But my thing is, I get into it, right? So I get into I definitely get into those really hot debates, and I'm really passionate about what I believe in. You know what I mean? As far as like there's consciousness.
I do as well.
You know what I mean? Like I tell people, like, yo, bro, everything about spirituality is like happening all around us. Like, you know what I mean? And so for me, and I know you probably relate to this too, is like one of the times I actually say a quote unquote, like one of my prayers is like in the middle of my dancing. Like my dancing, like if I'm really like feeling it, it's like it's an experience. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever felt that way? Like, especially, I know you have, you know what I mean? But like at sessions or battles and you're just like in it. It's like, yo, there's something happening right here. Like there's a feeling. There's a feeling.
Yeah, 100%. So like you speaking on, oh, damn, I lost it. You were just saying, I'll ask you this question after because I want to know. But yeah, 100%, man. Like it's not just movement. It's not just me, as in it's not just Ian dancing. Like I am connected to flow state, which to me can be even connecting to my guides. It can be me, or is me, I should say, connecting to and being in connection with like a quantum field of energy and all possibilities where anything can allow you to manifest.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. That
Yeah.
the word
Like,
manifest too is like, yeah, just pop up in this mug right here. Bam.
and bro, this is something that I want to really bring into Crump, whether that be conversing about it with other Crump dancers so that they can do it, or bringing in new people into Crump with this mindset, is that, you know, going back to like tribal days and stuff, they had dancing for every certain thing. But if you dance with intention to heal yourself, to, you know, release a certain energy that you have, and then whatever comes up, say if you're dancing in the middle of your round, it's like, damn, this trauma came up, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna release that shit, and you actually release it, you cry and do this or whatever. That's healing, bro. And people don't realize that they can go that deep with dancing to be able to do that, to be able to break down barriers and like heal themselves. They don't need nobody else to heal themselves besides them. Yes, you may need like guidance and aid to do it, but that's why I think Crump is the strongest dance ever, because it has every single emotion. You can go into states of like, you know, for example, like you dancing for your homie, or anyone dancing for their homie, and healing that part of them. And, you know, it ends up being a prayer or whatever it is. And shit's powerful, man. It ends up becoming spiritual, irrespective of whether you're spiritual or not.
Yeah, there's a certain experience happening there that you can't quite explain. People are always like, "Oh, I blacked out." Well, why? But why?
Yeah.
What's happening? But tell me what's going on with you, bro. Are you
Yeah.
lightheaded? Like you need to breathe? Like what's
Yeah.
going on? Like what's going on with you? Like that's what, like when I talk to some of my homies who are like, you know, like who are definitely atheists and stuff, it's like, bro, just hold on. Let me put on this song and let you dance. Like dance
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't breathe and just keep going. Because I think for me, man, like I think it's when somebody just gets real live, or they're
Yeah.
just getting real buck, like you
Yeah.
were saying, like, you know, for Native, because I'm Native American, like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So in
Yeah.
a lot of the Native American tribes here, they had their dances for the spring harvest and the
Mm-hmm.
fucking the fall moon, for the rains, for the
For
dry season, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's
man.
like every culture has it.
Yeah.
Every culture has this
Yeah.
cycle of doing these things, and it's all supposed to bring a certain energy. So I feel you on that. I
Exactly.
definitely feel you on that.
What I was gonna ask you real quick is like, were you brought up in a like religious upbringing at all?
Kind of. It was weird because my parents split up when I was real young, right? Like third grade. And so
Mm-hmm.
after that, I had a mom who was a Southern Baptist. Like, you know what I mean? So for Southern Christian Baptists, it's like North Carolina, it's a really heavy Christian household. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
and that's where my first defiance began, was like, no, I ain't going to church. That's where it began. Like, nope, I ain't going to church today. And then next thing it was ditching class. And the next thing, you know, and it just built up.
So
But my dad,
what's your take on like Jesus, I guess?
um, I feel like it works for some people.
Yeah.
And I definitely know, I definitely believe in the science and in the tracking that there was a man named Jesus who lived.
Yeah.
Was he here to save my soul in per se? No, I don't think so. But I do think that if I want to live a righteous lifestyle and live a certain type of within a certain type of humility, I
Mm-hmm.
think he's somebody who I can pay patronage to and I can follow his teachings.
Yeah. For sure.
Um, I think every religion kind of has that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they have somebody who they can look up to. I think just what gets me, especially with Jesus, right, is that people can't decide even if he's Hebrew. People can't decide certain things about him. You know,
Yeah.
you have all these denominations, and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever. All I know is he was a good dude, and there was some good shit he did. Okay, like,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not going to politic. There's a lot of, I feel like a lot of, when I hear the name Jesus, I hear religious institution.
Yeah.
That there's been an institution built around that, and I feel like, you know, and even to bounce back with you is like, you know, do you feel that there is along a lot of religions is that there's a institutionalism behind it, like there's like this confinement? Because when I hear conscious awakening, or when I hear words like things like that, like, you know what I mean, I think like cosmos, like the whole universe type of thing, like, you know, like, do you think there's a confinement going on?
I definitely do. Definitely within this third dimensional reality, yes. This human experience, 100%. Um, People just need to realize that who they need to really do their research on what it is that you are worshiping and what you're putting your energy towards. And that can be anything in life. It doesn't have to be a religion or whatever. But if it's something that is a false light, then you need to like be wary of that. Because like when I delved into occult knowledge, I ended up connecting all of, and I know that there's more, obviously. I'm not saying that I know everything, but there's so many dots and, you know, avenues that all connect and intertwine with each other that basically say every religion is wanting the same thing. And they're just different perspectives on what the cosmos is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what the cosmos can offer. If I were to choose a religion, it would either be Taoism or like Buddhism, because they are all about, you know, inner peace and being within and stuff like that. Yes, they have their deities and gods and stuff, but I also believe that they are just guides. Like you were saying before, if you want to pay patronage to Jesus for being there to guide you, then do that. But there's so much more to that. All of the religions that you're speaking of ascended, right? And I'm doing quotation marks. They ascended into a higher realm, into a higher state of being, into a higher state of consciousness, which allowed them to move from this third dimensional, I guess, layer of the cosmos into the higher frequencies, which basically made them divine. But
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are we are also divine beings, and I know people, and I've traveled the astral realm, bro. Like we can all do that shit if you're willing to, if you know it, if you believe it, and if you do the, I guess, inner work.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother layer of things when you start talking about astral planes and,
Yep.
you know, astral projections and stuff. Because I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I've had a couple of like out of body experiences.
Yep.
But dude, I was pretty tore up on some psychedelics. Like, I won't lie. Like, I will not lie. I will not lie. I was pretty
I know.
tore
I
up.
know what that. I know what that feels like, bro. I've had them a lot,
Yeah,
a lot.
and it's just
Yeah.
it's it's tight though, because like a lot of my buddies who have talked to me about my experiences with it, I tell them all the same thing. Like, dude, if you're gonna try it, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
100%.
Because, dude, I remember, man, the first time I had one of those experiences, I was sitting down on the floor looking up at the stars. And the next thing I knew, I was like looking at myself, and then like everybody around me.
That is 100% an out of body experience. If you can, like, that's what I'm talking about. That's like your soul, your spirit, your astral self, your energy body just coming out of your shell, your physical shell, and you being able to look back at yourself is the most surrealist thing ever, bro. You know?
Bro, it's a like
wow. It's cool though.
Yeah, dude, it's. Tell me if you can relate with this, and tell me how you think about this with dancing, right? Because I was having a talk with my buddy, and with how I know there's something going on, right, is because I can talk to myself. Even saying the words, talking to myself, right? And by laws of science, for there to be sound, there needs to be an action, and there's, vibrations going on.
Yep.
But I can have a whole conversation in my own head. You know what I mean? I can have a conversation with 3 people in my own head if I so choose it. You know what I mean? So there's something going on inside this whole thing. You know what I mean? So with dancing, I also feel that way where it's like, okay, I can listen to actual music and make movement happen in my head that then turns into my body. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, has there ever been has there ever been times where you've felt like, because I know with Crump, it's such a, like, I don't know, it's such like a spiritual experience for me. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like you can relate to that. Like, do you ever feel that way too? Like, that there's, like, I would guess like quantum, like some kind of like quantum mechanics happening behind all this stuff.
Oh, bro, 100%, man. Like, I guess I touched on it a little bit before, but when you're dancing, you obviously have opportunities there. You can catch yourself, and you can literally control everything that you're doing in this now moment, right? You can choose to move down this path, or you can just let your body flow and just be, basically. And I think that is the most powerful thing that you can ever have, because you're not thinking about, what am I going to eat later? Or, oh, fuck, I have to do this thing before this thing. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally just all there. You're embodying like the purest self if you detach from being tight.
Yes, that's where it's at. It's like, once, like especially like even talking about it earlier, like that battle with Ruck Boy, bro, like I had to, after that, I really had to separate myself from like worrying about being tight. That's what I was so worried about. I was like, dude, I gotta do good. I gotta do this. It's like, no, dude, just do these things. Like, it'll come to you right now. Like, it's about to happen right now. Watch this. You know?
Yeah, exactly, man. And you can choose to take that or leave it and not do anything with it. You can choose when to go live, which is basically choosing your path to your goal, which is basically, well, in Crump, it is to get live, right? So you're choosing that path to get live. But there's so many different possibilities that you can allow yourself to enter. But it's whether you're confident and whether you believe it enough. Like in Crump, we always talk about, it doesn't matter what you do, you just need to believe and it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Type thing, and it's that sort of mentality behind it. But for sure, bro, like I've called on my guides and like, I guess, spirit in a sense to come through and just act through me. And like, it feels like I'm not myself. Even when I'm emceeing, when I'm writing shit down, it doesn't feel like it's me, like as a human, as Ian, it doesn't feel like it's me, but it just feels like I get into, yeah, like you were saying before, that whole quantum, like just a different realm, bro. Like you're tapping into the quantum field.
There's an elevation happening. Like, whoa, there's something transcending coming out. Yeah, happening right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you like, so when you're coming up with everything, and discovering things, and as far as, just how consciousness goes, like, are you just studying this on your own, like, or out there? Because you're out in Australia right now, yeah?
Yeah, in Melbourne
Oh,
at the moment.
Melbourne. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. God damn, dude, that's so crazy. You're in Melbourne right now. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's wild. Originally from Perth. I gotta shout Perth out because that's my home, man.
Hey, shout out Perth, man. Hey, dude, it's so crazy because it's like when I met you, I was like, damn, I've always wanted to go to Australia. Like, fucking here's one of them right here. What's good, dude? Like, what up? Oh my god. Uh, so I mean, is there places where you go, like, maybe meet up with people, or is it just a bunch of solo, like, studying and exploration?
Majority of it is solo study exploration, but I do, like, myself and Nadia, my partner, are pretty, like, we're not, like, how can I say, like, we're heavy into it, but without being like a Bible basher type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we do our own research, and like every now and then, like I was heavy into the whole occult side of things because this is something for everyone. You need to know what the shadows are doing. You need to know like what lies within the shadows to understand more of yourself and more of like, I guess, the light side of things. Um,
Mm.
and that's a big factor in living the best life that you possibly can. Is realizing those things so that you can heal yourself in that way. But yeah, man, for sure. Like I can link you them as well. I have different people that I listen to, and just like there's some different philosophers and like, I guess you could call them cosmic agents in a sense that have the ability to tap into the quantum realm and like connect straight back to source and get, I guess, like premonitions and basically activate psychic abilities. And like they're talking about third eyes and like just activating and DNA activation and frequency and all of this crazy stuff. So if you want that, I can hook you up with it. Anyone that is listening to this, holler at the homie for it. I will for sure connect you to what I'm listening to because it helps a lot with just understanding what the fuck's going on. You know,
Yeah, dude.
you know,
Oh my god. Oh
like
my god.
it's so much, bro. And like for me at the moment, I sort of, not that I regret it because obviously I'm still growing and everything is in, I guess, divine timing, but meditation and like sitting in silence with yourself and your thoughts, knowing and distinguishing what is the difference between your mental constructs and conditioning to your heart and what your heart actually feels and thinks. Because
Whoa.
science, like this is science, bro. Like they did an experiment where I don't know if you've heard of this, but basically they got a number of people to look at these images, right? So I think they were like, it was sort of like on a TV screen, but they would only flicker for like 5 seconds or 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And so it was the same imagery for the first section. And then the next section, it was like random, right? So they rewatched the sequence again, but it wasn't the same sequence. It was random. However, your heart or their heart actually connected to and read and reacted in a way and felt the vibration before it actually even hit the screen.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
So there was already
Basically, your
some
heart
kind of
has precognitive abilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it
And
was already getting used to the patterns, and then after a while, it already have these motions before it even hit the screen. That's crazy.
and like connecting your heart, like being in connection with your heart allows you to open it, therefore allowing yourself to connect more to all the possibilities that there are. When I say that, I mean like the multi-dimensional realms and stuff. And I will say as well that we actually have three brains. So our mind, which is like in our cranium, right? Which filters information. And to me, it's basically all ego there, right? Egoic thought and mentality stems from our, I guess, reptilian brain, which is
Okay.
situated in our like physical brain, right? And then you have the second brain, which is your heart, and then you have the third brain, which is your gut. So when people like follow your gut feeling,
Yeah.
it's all connected, bro. We have three of those. So it's like you need to be able to discern and distinguish what the difference is between those three so that you can, I guess, follow your, I guess, highest calling. That may sound cliche, but that's what it is. And if you stray from that, you're going to get slapped in the face by the universe or whatever, like whoever your God is or whatever like that. And patterns will keep resurfacing until you intentionally choose to stop or negate the pattern by doing what you've always felt in your heart to do.
See, so this is to give credit right here, is to give credit to people who might be, any kind of religious backing, right? All of their messiahs, all of their prophets, whatever, always have this idea that they're this shepherd. Like they always bring everybody back and bring him into congregation.
Yeah.
And it's just like the universe itself is like,
right.
No, dude, if you stray too far off of your calling, if you stray too far off of your path, the universe will find a way to bring you back into line.
Exactly.
Like no matter what. And that's why they say like some people, they really find peace on their deathbed. It's because it doesn't matter when, you know what I mean? Like the universe has its own timing.
Yeah.
But it will bring you back in line. It'll get you back on your path and back on your calling.
Yeah, exactly. And when it does come to, I don't like using the term spirituality because it's so loose. Like I feel like people that do follow religions have a different idea of what spirituality is compared to someone that is free of those belief systems, I guess, and doctrines, right? But oh damn, I forgot what I was going to say, bro.
Now there is a difference though. It's you were saying like about how there's a difference between the people who have it like that religious, very heavy religious doctrine of religion to spirituality, where it's like it's so loosely used. You know what I'm saying? Like spirituality is loosely used these days of, I think, amongst people who are like into this weird snake oil type of fucking crystals and this is what I do every day. Like, no, there's a lot more going on. Like, if you really know how to use the snake oil and crystals, honey, you wouldn't be in this position.
Exactly. And this was what I was going to say is all these religions stem back to a natural way of being, bro, a natural law, which is universal law, because that is all that exists. The universe, consciousness, energy moves in a certain way, like look at nature. If you allow yourself to do what is natural to humans, which is connect back to your spirit or live as a spirit in this human experience, it's so much easier to navigate through turbulence
Mm-hmm.
rather
Dude,
than rather than going, I guess, like praying. Like, I mean, I pray, but not in the way, I guess, like I'm not praying to a a person or a thing, you know? I'm just praying, like when I pray, it's like to the energy. I'm manifesting, like, or I guess initiating a frequency into the universe that will either, if it is in resonance with me, it'll come to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, almost like because I understand what you're saying, where it's like all all these teachings from all these religions all point us in a direction to be good people.
Yeah.
It, like if you look at them at their rawest form, now, yes, some of these texts have been manipulated, and the way that they're being taught has been perverted, and all these
Definitely.
things. You know what I mean? Like definitely, definitely. That's why at the raw version, like even me, like I was saying, like I just believe that these people are good people. Like these people that they've taught these stories behind and chose these names and whatever. Like it's for us to be good people. Like, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, they all had, what they've got in common is that they all transcended, right?
exactly,
And
transcension.
they all went into, they basically went in within themselves to be able to transcend what we know as the matrix, which is this third dimension.
Mm-hmm. Damn, bro. It's like it's crazy because it's like I understand exactly like these concepts as far as like what's happening right here. You know, the matrix, third dimensional plane. Like people hear these things and they're just like, yo, like conspiracy theories type thing. It's like, no, this is what's happening. This is there's no conspiracy behind this, man. Like this is really what's going on.
Yeah. And, you know, for the people that are, how can I say, anti-conspiracy theory, do your research, go down the rabbit hole, and you'll see how much of it is not a conspiracy. There is no such thing as coincidence, because spell coincidence. When you spell coincidence, you have to first write the word coincide ence, which means something that coincides is natural. It's a natural occurrence. So a coincidence is a natural occurrence.
That means it was already there. It was there.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's already there. It's in plain sight, man. And the term conspiracy theory was really used by the CIA to shun people that actually not necessarily attack them, but was revealing the truth about what they were going through, and they labeled it as a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that was one thing I heard from a lot of people was that conspiracy theory or theorists was used for people that we now, especially in America, call whistleblowers, like the people who are revealing truths. So yeah.
So it's like you need to use discernment and to know what resonates. Like even if it is scary, which majority of like what I was saying with the I guess shadow work and shadow government, let's say, is this shit is true. Like go back into history and realize it, and open your mind to what actually occurred throughout history. Even in the ancient times, they all speak about the same freaking shit, and it's still going on today. So it's like, when are you gonna wake up?
Yeah, dude. And and people can look at it in the crudest sense of like, dude, look at Caesar. He was killed by, by his government and one of his best friends. I
Mhm.
mean, we've had here in America, we've had multiple presidents assassinated. There's
Yep.
been presidents overthrown and kings overthrown all over the world. So there's always a shadow. There's always this little coup over here on the side,
And
deliberating and talking.
yeah, 100%. They're plotting all the time, man. And if you look at the people that were assassinated, look at how real they are compared to the people that were not assassinated. How much work,
Exactly.
how much work they actually did to liberate people, and then look at the amount of work that other people did that didn't actually do jack shit but talked it,
Yeah.
and nothing happened. Still the same shit. Everything's in the same state, which ends up, I guess, coming into today's era where how can I say, the system that has been working for so long is collapsing, and it forces a lot of people to think completely differently and put them in uncomfortable situations to question their whole existence.
Yeah, dude. Because I feel like everything that we know right now, everything that we know right now to be true has now been kind of turned on its head. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And I feel that especially with this pandemic, you know what I mean? Like I've seen more people now turn their lives to understanding, spirituality, understanding some kind of religious creed, or
Yep.
understanding, how food affects our bodies and how what we consume on a daily affects our bodies and the things you read and like I know a lot of people who've disconnected off of Facebook. It's like, dude, good. Like I'm fucking happy for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like fucking A, like Jesus. Like
Being more
we
aware.
need this, we need the cleansing of the old ways. You know what I mean? Like it's time that a lot of this gets kind of turned upside down and rewritten.
Totally, man. And the funny thing is, people subconsciously or knowingly want this old system to perish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now that it's actually happening, people are really fearful. People are really scared about what's to come. Which is, completely fair. But when you actually get into, I guess, knowingness and like doing researching and allowing yourself to be open to all of these ideas, it's not as hard as the mainstream media, which is controlled by the shadow government anyway, are seeming it to be.
Yeah, because even for myself, man, like I grew up, like even growing up with my mom, having my dad, you know what I mean, my dad practiced more of our Native American ways. My mom was more of a Christian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I lived in both these worlds of knowing, okay, there's this Bible and there's this guy I can pray to. And then my native traditions, it's like, okay, there's these dances and songs I can sing. Whoa, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of bounced around. So for me, it was easy for me to learn lessons from the Quran. It was easy for me to learn lessons from the Torah
Yeah.
or, from the Buddhists or from whoever. Like, you know what I mean? I just kind of took it as a thing of, okay, there's something here, you know, even like, even taking that and putting it against the government, like, you know what I mean, in these
Yeah.
ways that they try to suppress the way that our mind really works. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, there's 30 different lessons of how to do good. Like these guys can be showing you 30 different ways of how to fuck your life up. So let's not, take everything what they say at face value. You know what I mean? Like we like, even going back, it's like conspiracy theorists too, dude. I'm just questioning you. Like
Yeah.
you guys question me. I'm just asking you some questions. Like that's all that's going on here.
100%, bro. And a lot of it, a lot of the people that are anti-conspiracies and stuff like that, or I guess not that they need to believe that it's true, but if they are so strongly against it, they are living in a fearful state of being, and they don't want, and they're so, because you can be comfortable in being addicted to certain emotions and
Yeah.
being addicted to a certain way of being, which, in my opinion, like one of the main purposes of this existence is to get over our old patterns that aren't working for us. And that's how we grow the most. That's how you see heaps of, I guess, spiritual growth and freedom come into your life and abundance come into your life. Is by, just connecting the dots. Basically. And that's what
Bro, listen, man. Anchor kicks me off of after an hour and 5 minutes, and what you just said was profound as fuck. Like, like, oh my god, dude. Bro, we did a whole hour already. Like, I don't know what I need to do so they don't kick me off early. But dude, this was a dope ass episode, man, and I hope we can do another one.
Yeah, man, for sure. Let's do a part 2 right now. Oh yeah, man. I am super grateful that you got me on this. And yeah, it was just hella dope to vibe, even though, it's just through audio. Like, really, really dope. And we'll for sure keep in contact. Yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to the next one, brother.
Yeah, so everybody who's listening who does not know, the first person who I bring on video with the smoking section is going to be my man Ian.
Yes, sir.
Right? The boyhood. I'm going to bring him on for video. I told him I don't like being in front of the cameras, but I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, my G, I swear.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much, bro. Is there anything you want to let the people know, or maybe drop some of your social medias that they can follow you at?
Yeah, for sure. So my IG handle is dancer.mc, and MC is spelled the right way, or the hip hop way, I should say, is EMCEE. That's dancer.mc. And I just upped my new website. You can check that out, where it's going to be basically what we talked about today, which is being a facilitator for like mindfulness and connecting to your inner self and Crump. And Crump is going to be the tool for me to allow you to do that. I've got blogs on there, and I just want to be, I guess, a pillar for people to, get in touch with who they really are. So check that out. It's called catalystcreator.me, and they're both spelled with a K because we Crump.
Okay.
Yes,
hey, man. Thank you again, brother. Hey, and I'll shoot you a message right now, right when we get off.
All right, for sure, bro. Much love,
man. One love.
Peace.